The Cleverness of a Little Girl. There once lived a poor man. One day he went to the king's court and said, "Your Majesty, I've come to borrow some money from you. Kindly lend me 5,000 rupees. I promise to return it within 5 years." The king was moved by his words. Trusting the man, he gave him 5,000 rupees. However, even after 5 years passed, the man did not return the money. Finally, the king was forced to go to the man's house himself. But every time the man avoided meeting the king and sent him back with some excuse or another. One day the king again went to his house. This time no one else was home except a little girl sitting alone. The king asked her, "Where is your father?" The girl replied, "Father has gone to stop the water from heaven." The king asked again, "Where is your elder brother?" The girl said, "He has gone to fight a fight without fighting." The king was completely puzzled. So he asked, "Then where is your mother?" The girl replied, "Mother has gone to turn 1 into 2. Now, irritated by these strange replies, the king angrily asked, "And what are you doing here?" The girl smiled and said, "I'm just sitting and watching over the whole household." The king realized that the girl was purposefully giving riddle-like answers. He smiled gently and affectionately said, "Dear child, your answers are so strange that I couldn't understand a thing. Please explain what you meant." The girl smiled and said, "I'll explain everything, but first tell me, what will you give me in return?" The king became curious and replied, "I'll give you whatever you ask for." The girl said, "Then promise me you will forgive my father's debt." After thinking for a moment, the king said, "All right, I will forgive your father's entire debt. Now please explain your answers to me." The girl smiled and said, "Your Majesty, I can't explain everything today. Please come back tomorrow, and I'll explain everything then." The next day, the king came back. This time, the entire family, the father, mother, elder brother, and the little girl, were all present. As the king arrived, the girl asked, "Your Majesty, do you remember your promise?" The king said, "Yes, I do. If you explain everything, I'll forgive your father's debt." The girl began, "First, I said my father went to stop the water from heaven. That meant it was raining, and water was leaking through our roof. My father was repairing the roof. Since water comes from the sky, I called it heaven's water. Second, I said my brother went to fight a fight without fighting. That meant he went to cut down a regony or thorny tree. Those trees have thorns, and when cutting them, you often get scratched. That's like getting hurt in a fight. So, a fight without an argument." The king nodded. "You're absolutely right." Now the next two, the girl continued. The third was, Mother went to turn 1 into 2. That meant she was splitting lentils. 1 lentil splits into 2 parts. That's turning 1 into 2. And the last one, I said I'm sitting and watching over the whole household. That meant I was cooking rice, and I was checking if it was ready by pressing a grain. You can tell if the whole pot of rice is cooked by checking 1 grain. That 1 grain represented our household. So I was watching over it by sitting. Hearing all this, the king was amazed. He said, "You're incredibly clever. But tell me one thing. You could have given these explanations yesterday. Why didn't you?" The girl sweetly smiled and said, "Your Majesty, I had already told you. I was cooking rice then. If I had started talking with you, the rice might have burned or stayed raw, and my mother would have scolded me. Also, no one else was home then. If I had said you forgave the debt, no one would have believed me. But today you came yourself and said it. Now everyone believes it and is happy too." Hearing her words, the king was delighted. He removed the pearl necklace from around his neck and gave it to the girl. "Here, this is your reward for your cleverness. I had already forgiven your father's debt. Now you no longer need excuses. Live peacefully. If you need anything in the future, come to me without fear." Saying this, the king blessed the girl and left, and the girl's family hugged her with joy.